Welcome to the Mobile Notary Show. My name is Kathy Holliday. I'll be your host. I am the CEO of Mobile Notary 24/7, and I would like to thank you for joining me today on our discussion of what are the 10 most important responsibilities of the notary while sitting at the signing table. So let's dive right in. Responsibility number one, it is very important for you to be on time. So if your signing is scheduled for 10 a.m., you should be pulling up to the signer's home at 9:55. By the time you take everything out of your vehicle, lock your vehicle up, walk up the pathway, it should be 9:58, 9:59. Once you ring the doorbell, they're answering the door at 10 o'clock. That is very impressive to the signers that you are on time. And you never know, they may have something else scheduled to do for that day, and they need to make sure you're on time so they can complete the documents within that hour, and they may have something else scheduled right after you are to leave. So the importance of being on time is very vital when you're sitting at the signing table. Responsibility number two, you are always going to dress the part. It's going to be business, casual, professional. When the signers open the door, they want to see professionalism. They want to see a beautiful smile on your face. They want to see overall, the dressed business, casual, professional. You're always going to be polite. You're always going to be respectful. You're going to have patience, and you have to be professional. Remember that you are representing a signing company, and you're also, in my case, I'm representing Mobile Notary 24/7. So when they first see you and they look and they see this professionalism, they see this beautiful smile, they see as you're sitting at the signing table, you have patience with them and you're answering questions. That goes a long way when you are trying to build your brand. Responsibility number three, you should always ask the signing company that you are contracted out with and you've received this confirmation to take care of this signing, what color ink would they like the signers to sign in? If they would like blue or would they like black? Now, whichever they choose, feel free in your contacts, put the signing company name, address, phone number, so you have access to be able to call them quickly while you're at the signing table. Also, in your notes, when you create this contact for the new signing company, put in the notes blue ink. So now each time that you take care of this signing for this particular signing company that wants you to use blue ink, you do not have to contact them each time and ask what color ink they would like you to have the borrower sign with. Now, I know some people may say, oh, I'll remember. I have 51 companies that I contract out with. I am not going to remember what color ink each one of the signing companies want me to sign with. So here's what I do. I put blue ink for each signing company that wants me to use blue ink. If I don't have anything in the notes, it's automatically black ink. I'm just sharing a couple tidbits of what I actually use to make sure that I stay organized, to make sure that I am going by the rules and regulations of this particular signing company to make sure that I get more signings from them. Responsibility number four. The borrower, if the borrowers happen to have questions, which they will, you want to make sure that you give them the general description of the document. Now, feel free to point out the answers such as their interest rate, their monthly payment, the terms of the loan, which is stated on the documents. But you are not to ever explain or go into detail about the documents or the interest rate. That is for the real estate agent, the lender, that is for the escrow officer to explain that to the signers. And responsibility number 5. Number 5, you're going to pay attention to all of the documents. Now, when I say pay attention, as I always said in my podcast, I'm going to double check and triple check. You want to make sure that every signature line is being signed. Now, I go that extra step. I put sign here tabs where I need the signers to sign. And then I put notarize here for me to notarize. And of course, I have an initial here tab for them to put their initials. So it's not necessarily for me because I've been a notary for 7.5 years, but I will continue to put the tabs there, especially for the signers, to make sure that they don't go in my section and sign. So the blue tabs is for initial. And I tell them the red tabs, you look for the red tabs. The red tabs are for you to sign. And the yellow tabs are for me to notarize. Don't worry about coming down in my section. I'll take care of that. So you want to make sure that you pay attention to all of the document pages and you make sure that every single signature line is being signed on. Responsibility number 6. We want to make sure that the signers sign each document as their name is displayed. So if my name is displayed as first, middle, last, then I'm going to have to sign, Kathy, middle, and last. If my name is only signed or written, printed as first and last, then I will only be signing my first and last. So feel free to share that with the signers before you have them start signing the documents. You want to make sure that you sign your name just as it is on the documents. And then the same thing goes for the initials. So if my name is Kathy Holiday and I go initial Kathy A. Holiday, that's not correct because the documents only show Kathy Holiday. So my initials should be Kathy H. You will have some signers that are adamant about, well, that's not my initial. Feel free to share with them that you don't want the documents to come back rejected because your initials did not match your signature. And if they're still adamant, feel free to call the real estate agent or the escrow officer. Responsibility number 7. You're going to verify the date on the notice of right to cancel and make sure that it is correct. So, of course, you do realize that this is 3-day rescission. It's 3 business days. Saturday is considered a business day. However, Sunday is not. So if we're taking care of a signing today, April 19th, 2019, the rescission date is going to be Saturday the 20th. We're not going to count Sunday. Monday the 22nd. And Tuesday the 23rd is the 3rd day rescission. So on the documents, on the notice of right to cancel, in the middle of the page, closer over to the right margin, it's going to say that it's going to expire midnight on the 23rd of April. You need to make sure that date is correct because if it's not correct, you're going to have the signers put a line through the date, put the correct date, and then put their initials. Okay? So now, responsibility number 8. You want to make sure that on the loan application, which is the 1003 or the 1003, however you want to word it, it has to be signed on 3 pages. For some reason, a lot of the notaries forget to have them sign at the very top on the first page. That can be misleading, but it does say at the very top, borrower and co-borrower. So they have to sign at the very top on the first page. There is no signature required on the second page. However, there is a signature required in the middle of the page on page 3. And then there's a signature required on the 4th page at the very bottom. Now, another thing that some of the notaries miss is some signing companies have these signers sign at the very top, and then there is a little section at the very bottom that says initials. You have to initial all 4 pages. Now, sometimes they'll have just the initials for the first and second page because you're signing on the third and fourth page. But you want to make sure that you looked for that initial line to make sure that the signers sign at the top on page 1 and initial page 1 and 2 at the very bottom. Responsibility number 9. On the hazard insurance information and the homeowners association page, they have to make sure that they put the real estate the insurance company and the agent for the insurance company and the phone number and the address. But if they don't have that, at least they have to make sure that they fill in the insurance company name. The agent, they should know their agent's name, and then the escrow company can take care of the rest. And the same for the homeowners association. You may not know the name of the person, but you definitely should know the homeowners association for that particular subdivision because you pay it every month. So if you have just the name of the homeowners association, but you do not have the address or the phone number, that's fine. Just make sure that they put the homeowners association name. And we're going to discuss the responsibility number 10, which is the last one, if you have funds due. If the signer has funds due, you're going to make sure that you collect a personal check or a cashier's check. Again, in your notes for your confirmation that you've received from the signing company, they are going to specify what amount they actually accept for a personal check. Some signing companies says anything over $250, it has to be a cashier's check. Other companies says anything over $1,500 has to be a cashier's check. So under $250 is a personal check. Under $1,500 is a personal check. That's why it is so important for you to read your instructions from each signing company because it differs. Okay? If the signer would like to have their funds direct deposited, wired into their account, you want to make sure that you receive a check and have them void the check out. Because if they happen to put one number incorrectly on the funds authorization, that money is going to be deposited in someone else's account. So we always encourage you to have them give you a check, put a big old void across the top of it, and then if they happen to put down the wrong account number or the wrong routing number, they still have the check there to verify as bag up that this is where the funds should be deposited. So those are your 10 most important responsibilities of a notary when you are at the signing table. I do hope that you found this very helpful. Please feel free to like and share my podcast. I'm looking forward to any comments that you may have. Until the next time, have yourself an awesome and blessed day.